was a relatively young parent, and I was with my two daughters, Ayla, who was 6 years old at the time, and Amaya, who was 4 years old at the time. And we were all gathered at Knoll Ridge Park at the soccer field. Yes. And we were there with all kinds of parents, all kinds of kids in uniform, just like Amaya, or just like Ayla was, ready for soccer. And we were also there with siblings, younger siblings of those uniformed kids who weren't yet of age or not quite the right size to be on the team yet. And because it was April and that time, and it's like already just outside of winter, but not yet fully spring, all of us were there bundled in sweatpants and sweatshirts and fleece blankets and winter hats. Some of the other parents had hot mugs of coffee or hot chocolate. I didn't. I just had this kid, Amaya, who was a handful enough. And so the referee, he blows his whistle, and the children, uniformed like my Ayla, start to do as children on the soccer field do. They go back and forth, and they look a little bit clumsy, and like they don't exactly know what they're doing because they don't. And then I realize there's an extra child on the field, and that extra child is my Amaya. She has scrambled onto the field when I wasn't looking. And then I have the chance of being one of two parents, okay? I can be that parent who's like, Amaya! Siren song Amaya back to me, right? Amaya! Come on now. Because I don't want to be that parent yet. Can you please come back to me? Because you're not supposed to be on the field. That would be great if you could do that. Thank you so much. And she does. She scrambles right back to me, and I scoop her up in my arms, and I pat her on the back, very vigorously, the way that a parent pats a child on the back to say, I love you so much, but don't do that again, please. There are people watching. Right? And as I'm patting her on the back, she's teeny enough, but also strong enough that she scrambles out of my arms again and onto the field. And I'm like, okay, Amaya. Yeah, no, I need you to come back, please, and thank you so much. And she actually does come back to me, but this is also the moment when I realize, like, I used to be a really judgmental parent. Yeah. Do any of you remember when parents used to have their children on leashes? Like, I haven't seen it as much lately, but anybody remember that? All the leashes. I realized in that moment that Amaya is precisely the kind of child for whom those leashes were invented. Okay. So I scoop her back up, and I'm patting her again, and I'm trying to enjoy watching this game. And now Amaya does scramble out of my arms again, but she lands now just on the grass next to me. And I'm like, okay, cool, we can do this. She looks like she's getting settled. She's okay. She's comfortable, appeased, while I watch the soccer game. I look down. She's great. Good. Everything's good. I look down again. Great. Wait. Amaya? Are you eating something? What are you eating? Ants? Scoop her up again, pat her on the back again, keep watching the soccer game. And then, as you might imagine, she scrambles out of my arms yet again. Yeah. Onto the field again. And this time I'm exasperated. And I say, because I'm thinking about the fact she doesn't have a uniform, she's not old enough, we hadn't filled out the forms, all of those logistical things that parents think are important, right? And I scream and I say, Amaya, you just can't! And her little legs are churning as fast and as strong as every other kid on those teams out there. And her hair is in these two Boston ferns that are just flying in the breeze as she's running away from me. And she doesn't even turn around to look at me when she responds with, but I can try. And I'm telling you what, there are so many of those children in our lives who are are incredibly capable. They're eager, they're excited, they're ready to go, they're equipped. We've got to empower them, right? And when I think about Amaya in that moment, she was so determined, so undaunted, and she persisted, and I could not have been more proud of her. Thank you.